Welcome to another episode of MACHINA. Today, we're visiting one of the biggest printing factories in Dongguan. You might recognize some of the names of their customers, companies like Disney, Sony. We're gonna explore how you get from this to this. Let's go. Right now, we're in the raw materials warehouse where they store the paper, the fundamental ingredient of bookmaking, of course. Now, while I'm surrounded by stacks of paper, it might be fewer than you would expect. And that's because paper has a shelf life due to factors like temperature and humidity. So these stacks are actually ordered based on individual customers' requirements. These stacks here are arranged based on color, texture, and weight. I've been told that books printed on yellow paper are easier on the eyes. They're also more expensive. And here is where the magic starts. In this room, workers are cutting down those stacks of paper for individual jobs. Now, the dimensions to which they're cut are actually determined to minimize waste, but there are still all of these trimmings. Where do they go? Hey, Schweiger, where do they go? Wow, look at this beast. This printer includes 3 zones, one dedicated to feeding, one for printing, and one for color adjustment. This baby alone will cost you more than $3 million. This high-speed printer here can crank out 18,000 sheets per hour. That's 5 sheets per second. This feeder is continuously sending sheets through the machine. The first 100 don't even get used in books. They're just the test sheets. What happens to them? They get recycled, of course, along with the scraps that we saw before. Wow, this is so satisfying to watch. The paper runs through 8 individual print stations, each laying down a layer of ink. The first 4 stations print the standard CMYK colors. Those are cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Apparently, with these 4 colors, you can make pretty much any color in the world. The additional ones are for special demands, such as metallic colors. The ink comes through the pipes and then into the ink management system. They're responsible for evenly mixing the ink, regulating the ink flow to the print heads. Now, something of utmost importance to note is that all of the materials used in the printing process have been through a thorough testing and certification to ensure that they are safe for adults and children alike. We're now at the color adjustment station. Now, what actually amazes me is that even though these printers have an incredibly high-tech built-in color calibration system, it's actually no match for the highly trained eyes of these skilled and experienced master technicians. See this control panel here? Depending on the print size, it can adjust color in up to 32 vertical zones across the page. This allows precise tweaking for accurate color rendition. These random inspections happen continuously throughout the printing run. 师傅，颜色不对吗？
对，这个杯子偏黄，底色不够蓝，是吧？所以要收加一点点蓝，点一点点黄。
明白，谢谢。I know you're all really eager to see how these pages are going to get assembled into a book. But first, there's one set of really critical steps that might not even occur to most people. and that's surface finishing. Now, that includes effects like burnishing and gold foil stamping, matte surface finishes. Apart from that, depending on the finishes used, pages can have some special features. This might mean they don't reflect light as much, are less likely to get scratched, or can even handle a bit of water without getting ruined. Now that we've finally got our finished pages, it's time to assemble them into a book. Now that we're ready to assemble our pages into books, we fold. Whoop. This automatic folding machine is actually crazy fast. Honestly, I can't even capture the actions with my eyes. So, this large sheet here actually contains multiple pages of content. Depending on the printing job, this machine is capable of folding the sheets up to 3 times. They'll later be divided into separate pages. Honestly, I could just watch this all day. Now we're ready for binding. This machine collates the printed pages, stacking them in the proper sequenced order to form a complete book. The conveyor belt takes the stacked sheets and slowly turns them vertically. As the spine edges past the first blade, it trims them, smooth and even. The second blade then notches the spine, creating small slots for glue to seep into, ensuring the pages stick together tightly as a book. After gluing, another layer of adhesive is applied across the full spine. As the book passes through, soft covers are added at just the right time. A soft cover will be sent here in perfect sync to meet the book. This rolling wheel presses the covers against the spine, attaching them firmly. Right after, the clamping station applies pressure to further compress the connections. In seamless sequence, the separate covers become integrated with the bound pages, completing the books ready for trimming. We're finally down to the last step, and the 3 exposed sides will be cut flush. What we need to do now is simply trim away the excess margins on the 3 sides of the bound book, leaving only the spine intact to hold the pages together. And here we go! And after that final trimming step, we've got our finished book. This is Noah with MACHINA. It's time for us to head home to Shenzhen. Come visit us. In the meantime, like and subscribe.